Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw Review. I'm your host, the Invincible E. Vincent. This show is brought to you by UnifiedWrestling.com and 123wrestling.co.uk. Tonight's show got started off with a bang. John Laurinaitis and Brock Lesnar started the show going on about Brock Lesnar's the things that were being presented as Brock Lesnar's contract. Triple H got involved, came out and told both of them essentially that what he had asked for wasn't going to happen. The initial contract was more than fair, and was Brock Lesnar going to go along with it, yes or no? Brock Lesnar basically responded by attacking Triple H and ultimately putting him in that Kimura that he put John Cena in last night at Extreme Rules. Now, again, according to the show, as he had him in the Kimura, it looked as though he popped his elbow. They were able to actually, Brock Lesnar backed off as other wrestlers ran in to try and protect Triple H, but the damage was done. They carted off Triple H to the doctors. Later in the show, they actually said, according to the story again, that Triple H's arm was in fact broken by Brock Lesnar, and after that, Brock Lesnar was escorted off the premises. Now, after this, the show got started. Eve came out and made the announcement that the matches tonight were going to be for the number one contender spot. Basically, they were going to have them on beat the clock situation where whoever was able to get the win in the shortest amount of time was going to be the one who was going to be set up as the number one contender and who would face CM Punk for the WWE Championship at the next pay-per-view. First match off the top was The Miz versus Santino Marella. The Miz got the win over Santino, and the time to beat at that point was 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Following that, they had the Divas Triple Threat match. This was between Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Layla. Layla, who is back and also who won the Divas Championship last night at Extreme Rules. Now, the winner of this was Layla. As the match got started, the Bella twins were talking amongst themselves. Layla kicked one, knocking the other out of the ring, and then rolled up the one who was remaining in the ring for the pin and the win. So Layla remains champion, and later in the show they actually announced that the Bella twins had been fired from WWE. So I think this had something to do with their contract pretty much almost being up anyway. But that's the story. Check it out on WWE.com. And moving on to match number 3. They had the match with Chris Jericho versus Big Show. Now, the winner, as the match went on, the winner was announced as Chris Jericho. Towards the end of the match, both of them were actually out of the ring. Chris Jericho managed to crawl back into the ring, but after the commercial break, they came back and said that it actually did not count as completion because neither of them was able to beat The Miz's time. So, moving on from there, we went to match number 4. This was Brodus Clay versus JTG. You know where this is going. Brodus Clay basically won, although JTG did throw in some good flops in there. Now, following this, they had a little bit of a video clip of John Cena's statements about his match last night at Extreme Rules, and then they backed that up with the assault on Triple H by Brock Lesnar earlier in the evening. Now, after that, there was a little bit where Eve was trying to calm down John Laurinaitis, who was basically feeling like he's in trouble with the board because of this whole Brock Lesnar fiasco. She says that it's probably going to be blamed on him, the attack that occurred on Triple H, and he's got to pick another opponent for John Cena. You know, even though John Cena's all busted up already, which it's like they pretty much got him running the gauntlet. First Kane, then The Rock, and now Brock Lesnar, and the question hangs in the air: who's next? Now, following that, they had the match between Randy Orton and Jack Swagger for the to beat the clock challenge. Randy Orton won with the RKO. I know, I didn't see it coming either, but he came up 2 seconds shorter than The Miz, so the time to beat was now 4:16. And following that, they had the tag team championship between Epico and Primo versus R-Truth and Kofi Kingston. Now, as the match was getting ready to get started, they made the announcement again that Nikki and Brie Bella had been fired. Again, check out WWE.com for details on that. Also, the announcement was made that Triple H's arm had been broken by Brock Lesnar attack early in the evening. Following that, R-Truth and Kofi Kingston were able to win after Kofi Kingston caught Epico with the Trouble in Paradise. Now, Epico and Primo and Rosa Mendez were arguing backstage. They ran into AEW and began talking about him going forward to represent them. So we'll see where that's going. AEW looks like he's getting ready to build an army, but we'll see what happens. Now, following that, we had the next match, which was Great Khali versus Kane. This match also turned out to be a no contest, as both competitors were going back and forth, but the timer ran out prior to either one of them actually getting the win. Following the announcement of that, Kane turned around and chokeslammed Khali. So nobody wins, but Khali still goes home with a sore back. Following that, we had Daniel Bryan versus Jerry Lawler. Now, Daniel Bryan actually was able to get Jerry Lawler in the yes lock, even though Jerry Lawler got a couple of hits in there, but Jerry had to tap out at the 1 minute and 57 mark of the countdown, and that makes Daniel Bryan the #1 contender. Following that, CM Punk comes out to the top of the ramp, and he gives him a round of applause, and he holds up the belt. And they didn't mic him up, but he was saying something to the effect of "Give me your best," and that's going to be at the Over the Limit pay-per-view that's going to happen in 3 weeks. Now, following that, John Cena came out. His arm was in a sling, and he came out to address the crowd, and he told everybody that everybody saw what happened to Triple H, who got his arm broken earlier in the show, according to the story. John Cena said that he thought that his arm had been broken last night, but the doctors confirmed that there's no tears or breaks, and it just hurts a lot. But he said that the difference between being injured and being hurt, and he knows the difference, and that's why he's there. John Laurinaitis comes out and basically says that the reason that he brought in Brock Lesnar was to motivate John Cena, which seemed like John Cena was motivated enough because, he's been running the gauntlet for the last few years with, very few breaks and very few times to actually heal up, but nevertheless. And John Cena went on to say, look, if you want to motivate somebody, you say, way to go, sport. You don't send a mercenary after him to try and take him out. Johnny Ace says that John Cena should actually be thanking him, and John Cena thanks him for being an idiot, and I believe this was a quote. He said, thank him for having his head so far up his ass that he had to brush his teeth with toilet paper. John Laurinaitis says that he's made his decision who John Cena's next opponent's going to be. And at that moment, Lord Tensai's music plays. Now, Lord Tensai did actually beat John Cena prior to his match with Brock Lesnar. So, that's hanging in the air. Lord Tensai and Sakamoto come out. They encircle him. And as he's looking for an attack from one of them, John Laurinaitis actually hits him with the mic. And as he's on the ground, he tells him that his competitor, the opponent that he's going to have to go after or go against at Over the Limit, is actually going to be John Laurinaitis himself. So this is interesting. Now, these two, Sakamoto and Lord Tensai, actually start attacking John Cena along with John Laurinaitis. And they pretty much focus on the arm that's already busted up. And finally, John Laurinaitis comes over with a chair and starts beating on the arm that's busted up. And after they drag him back into the ring, John Laurinaitis gives him the "you can't see me, John Cena" gesture in his face, and then leaves. So, no rest for the weary. John Cena now has to go against the GM. So now this looks like, I guess, John Laurinaitis is going to be either teaming with Lord Tensai, or he's just going to be breaking out the same moves that he was using back when John Laurinaitis was wrestling in Japan himself prior to coming to the WWE. So we'll see what happens with that. I hope he wrestles better than he talks, but again, we'll see what happens. For myself, the Invincible E. Vincent, take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. Don't forget to check out the TNA review that's going to take place on Thursday, I assure you. And for myself, the Invincible E. Vincent, take care. Again, enjoy the rest of your week.